Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, February 22nd, 2019. Welcome to another eBay video. Now you're probably wondering what that unusual looking bright thing is up in the sky, because you never get to see it on my videos. That is the sun actually. And although we had a bad storm the last couple of days, I don't know if you can see behind me the snow, but it's actually starting to melt now. It's 35 degrees, and you can probably hear a lot of the snow melting. Today's eBay video is going to be about several interesting topics, including an eBay gift card scam that was pretty prolific. We're also going to talk about a case that was opened against me and how that fared. We're also going to talk about your comments, questions, and concerns from last week's video, especially about selling in the parts and not working category, because a lot of you guys wrote in about that. So let's get started right now with your questions, comments, and concerns regarding selling for parts and not working. Charles Decker wrote in with a rather long comment, but it's really good and I want to read it to you. Just this week I had somebody open a return for doesn't work or defective on an item I sold strictly for parts. In the return request, he admits he knew it was for parts, but purchased it anyway thinking that it may work. And then when it arrived and it was indeed for parts, he decided to force a return. I immediately called eBay customer service and was told there's nothing they can do about it. They told me that when a buyer is unsatisfied with their purchase and they ask eBay to step in, eBay will let the buyer send it back, regardless of whether it was listed for parts and regardless of whether the seller offers no returns. Apparently eBay's user agreement allows them the power to do this, and by selling on the platform, we the sellers agree to the terms and there's nothing that can be done about it. In the past, when something like this has happened, eBay would review the case and close it in the seller's favor. They will no longer do this, even when it's blatantly obvious that the buyer is playing the system. Even when the buyer admits they knew they purchased an item for parts, it doesn't matter. The best eBay will do is reimburse you for the cost of the return shipping label, and the buyer gets a full refund. I'm out the original shipping and the PayPal transaction fee no matter what. Why do they even allow a for parts or not working category when the buyer can just open a return if it doesn't work or defective? It makes absolutely no sense. As far as I'm concerned, when something is listed for parts, they should not be able to open a return request. Yes, I agree, Charles. I agree with you. I said that last week. How can somebody buy something that's listed as defective and return it saying it's defective? It makes no freaking sense. eBay, I really think, needs to step up on this and allow this one category for parts not working to be a no returns category or no returns condition. Several other people wrote in also about selling in the for parts and not working category or condition. Michael Bomberger wrote, last May I had a PlayStation 3, console only, no controller, AV or power cables that I sold, 4 parts not working, and the price was only $15 or $20. The customer got it and opened the return case because it didn't have any controllers or cables with it. eBay auto accepted the return. I messaged the buyer and told them the item was sold with the console only, as is, and I called eBay about the auto accepted return. The rep admitted the return should not have been accepted, but since it had been, it could not be changed. Fortunately, I never heard from the buyer and they never returned it. Joel Dotson wrote, if they buy using their cell phone, the customer does not see the last 4 or 5 words. I always write on a 10 by 12 piece of poster board, for parts or repair only, no refunds, and use that picture as my first picture. It does idiot-proof the listing. I sell in this category all the time and never ever get returns. I suggest you try this technique. Great video, Joe. That's a very interesting idea, what Joel Dotson said right there. Make a small sign that says defective, full parts, not working, no returns, and use it as your first picture. It sounds like a good idea. However, let's say somebody did make the purchase. You know they could still force a return through eBay and the return will always go through. That's the thing that concerns me. They really need to change something on eBay's end. For example, no returns in the for parts or not working category or condition. Wooden Stuff with Steve French wrote, I agree that there should be no returns for items sold as for parts not working. There's no excuse for the buyer to not have known. You made it perfectly clear multiple times. Noor Cooley wrote, I think that no returns, no refunds should be placed in a few different categories, but yes, in not working there should be no returns whatsoever. Mr. Markdown wrote, Joe, I 100% agree with you, no returns in the for parts only not working listings. How could it be any other way? Do folks making the rules lack a little in the common sense category? I don't know, maybe. Have a great evening and thanks for your informative and entertaining videos. John from Illinois. On sales, Synchron wrote, Hello Joe, I must say the 1% has been working great this week. Sales are almost doubled. Thanks again, you rock. Also on sales, Crosswalk Larry wrote, Hey Joe, using 1% promoted listings has worked like a charm. 1 to 2 sales a day since starting. Hopefully this is not just a beta and will be equally successful next month as well. Guys, I'm glad my little idea has worked out for you. I will tell you right now that this week has been a super busy week for me. Now, as I've told you, over the last few weeks or months even, sales have been slower than usual. But this week has been right back to good times, man. Sales are crazy for me, really good. Every day was good. I attribute that to a few things. Number one, like the comments I just read, I am promoting almost all my listings, bidding only 1%, so my items appear twice in search. Once in regular search and once in the promoted search. Number two, like I've been telling you, I have an ongoing campaign where I am ending all my old stale listings, waiting at least 24 hours, then relisting them and slashing prices heavily. I have not sold many of those dog items at all that I'm talking about right now, but I do think that listing all these new items is upping me in search and helping my eBay store in general. So that's a good thing too. Plus, as I also mentioned, I bought a lot of inventory recently and I'm listing new inventory as well, so I think that's helping. All in all these factors are gelling together to get me good sales this week, and I love it. Okay, Hugo Lizardi wrote in with a question. Joe, I never received my item that I ordered from the United Kingdom to LA, California. Anyway, it's been over 40 days and it's been stuck at the ISC Los Angeles post office since January 2nd. My question is, will this item ever arrive and is this typical when buying from the UK? I have heard stories from other buyers when buying overseas that it takes quite a long time to arrive. Now, I gotta be honest with you, I never ever buy overseas. I've been on eBay for 20 years. 20 years, guys. I don't think I have ever, in my 20 years, ordered anything from an overseas seller. I honestly don't, because there are certain inherent factors you gotta consider. Number one is the elongated shipping time. Number two, of course, is the price for shipping is gonna be expensive. So, I wish I could tell you that I never heard of this before, good sir, but I have heard of it before. I don't know what your options are. What you could do is contact eBay and just open an item not received case. You could probably go that route. There's no use in contacting the seller directly because he's going to be hamstrung because it probably went through the global shipping program. The last comment I'm going to read before we get on to new business is from Gary Strange. Dear eBay, don't be glitchy. That's kind of funny, you got to admit. He's referring to the many glitches we spoke about last week, which included promoted listings and also included, and the second glitch was selling similar and not having the return field option showing. So far this week, I have not encountered the return field glitch, but I'm still encountering the promoted listings glitch. So that one is still prevalent. All right, let's get on to some new topics now. First, an update on last week. You may remember I spoke to you about selling in the for parts not working category, and I showed you that Cadillac Escalade cap that the guy wanted to return, even though it clearly said it was broken. The return was automatically accepted, and he was supposed to send the item back by February 20th. February 20th came and went. So on February 21st, I called eBay to get the return closed out. In my favor, of course, so that's good news. Hopefully that cap will still not make its way back to me. I had something weird happen the other day. I got up in the morning, checked my iPhone to see what sold, and I had an item not received case open and a return request opened. So I figured it was for two different things. All right, so I go on to eBay to see what's going on, and a guy files an item not received case for an item he bought only a few days prior. Now, as you know, Monday was President's Day, so this particular buyer, I guess, didn't realize it or didn't like the fact he had to wait an extra day and opened an item not received case. So I checked the tracking. The tracking showed it was going to be out for delivery on Tuesday, the day after President's Day, which was in line with eBay's expectations. So to be preemptive, I called eBay customer service. I showed them the information, and they said, well, there's nothing we can really do right now. Just message the buyer, tell him he's got to wait an extra day because of President's Day. You've done nothing wrong, Joe, and give it another day till he gets the item. That was on Tuesday. So later on Tuesday, I noticed that the tracking showed it had since been delivered to the customer. So I contacted the customer and I wrote to him and said, the tracking shows the item has been delivered to you. So what does this guy do? Instead of closing the case, he escalates it to eBay. I swear to Christ, I do not know why he would escalate it to eBay when the tracking clearly showed that it was delivered to him. But within a matter of minutes, eBay found in my favor, of course, because the tracking showed delivered, and the case was closed out. So I don't know what his thinking was. What's weird about this is I mentioned to you that I saw a return request on my iPhone notifications. When I went to my eBay notifications, it wasn't there. So I don't know where this return request got lost in the shuffle, but it was from that same cat. I want to talk now about an eBay gift card scam that was in the news last week. I didn't mention it to you last week because I had too many other topics I wanted to cover, and I really didn't have any time, but I have the time today, so we'll talk about it now. But for some reason, when I talk about scam, I just feel the need to take a drink from the Fox News Cup of Life, so let's do that right now. The good old Fox News Cup of Life. I love it. Okay, guys, there was a pretty big eBay scam in the news a week or two ago. And for those of you guys who did not hear about it, I'm going to relate it to you now. There was a 24-year-old man in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, named Chad Brody. And I accentuate 24-year-old man because I've seen some other reports where they refer to this gentleman as a kid. This person is not a kid. This is something that's wrong with today's society, and it's one of those things that really irks me. A kid is a juvenile under the age of 18. Anybody 18 or older is an adult, a legal adult who can get married, who can vote, who can join the army, and can do all those kinds of things. And yet, I still see a few people referring to people 24, 25 as kids. They're not kids, they're adults, and they need to take responsibility for their actions. Nonetheless, this particular individual exploited a loophole that he discovered with eBay gift cards, and here's how it worked. He would buy an item on eBay for, let's say, $50. He would put $49.50 on his eBay gift card and the remaining 50 cents on his credit card. However, eBay would fail to detect the $49.50 on his eBay gift card. Only the 50 cents on his credit card would be picked up and charged. This only happened when a person would split pay. If they paid, let's say, the whole $50 on their gift card, it would come right off, like normal. But there was a fallacy in the system that allowed this. It was a huge glitch, and only 2 people realized it, this cat and one other guy. The other guy maybe gamed the system once or twice, he pulled that crap. But this guy here, this one man, bought over 3,000 items on eBay when he exploited this gift card scam, totaling over $320,000. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. That is the problem with these scammers, these scumbags. You know, if they did it once or twice, if they weren't so greedy, they'd probably have gotten away with it. I'm almost certain if this guy had done it once or twice, he would have gotten away with it. All right? But because he was so prolific and kept going back to the well, he got caught. And that's the way these fishy scammers are. They just keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, and they get caught. This reminds me of a story from when I was a little kid. I love telling you guys my little kid stories as they relate to current eBay stories. So I'm going to tell you a story from when I was in 5th grade right now, and the great cookie robbery. Yes, guys, this is torn from the annals of time. It happened to me personally, and I'm going to relate it to you because, as you know, I have a vivid memory from my childhood. I can recall every single event like it happened yesterday. Now, if you asked me what I had to eat last night, I would probably hesitate and have to think seriously about that. But that being said, let's start talking about the great cookie robbery. So guys, I went to Catholic school. During my kindergarten to 8th grade tenure, we had these desks with a cubby hole underneath where you would put your books. And of course, every kid had his assigned seats. So every day my mother would give me 3 oatmeal cookies to take for recess in the morning, which I had with milk. And my procedure when I arrived to school in the morning was when I went into the classroom, I would put my books under my desk along with my lunch and my cookies. Then I would leave my desk and go to the other side of the classroom to hang out with friends of mine and commiserate and talk. That was my routine. So this one particular Monday, I did that. Got to school, put my books under my desk, my cookies and my lunch. Went over to talk to my friends. All right, class started. When it came time for recess, I reach under the cubby hole to get my cookies, and there's no cookies. And I'm like, where are my cookies? I took all my books out, everything. There's no cookies in there. I shook my head in disbelief, and I said, well, I guess that's an unsolved mystery. The next day, the same thing happens. I get to school in the morning, put my books, cookies, and lunch under my desk, go talk to my friends over here. Later on, class starts, I come back to my desk. But when recess comes, again, there's no cookies. Now, this is 2 days in a row. Now I know something's going on, okay? The first time might have been a mishap on my part, but after 2 in a row, Joe knows somebody's screwing with him. So on Wednesday, I set a trap. I go to school, put my books under my desk, my cookies and my lunch. I go over and hang out with my friends. But my eyes are on my desk the whole time. And sure enough, within 1 minute, bang, a kid goes flying to my desk and he goes and grabs my cookies. The fastest kid alive, me, ran over there and grabbed him and said, hey, those are my cookies. You've been stealing them. This is the 3rd day in a row you're stealing from me. And this kid had the balls to say to me, all right, you caught me. I tell you what I'll do. I'll split them with you. I said, how about I split my fist with you? Those are mine. Give them back. And he did. And he never did it again. But that's just an example of one of my great childhood memories that I thought you guys would enjoy. I guess it goes to the old notion, you have to stand up for yourself and never take crap from a bully, whether it's on 5th grade or whether it's online. But this also keys into the story about this gift card scammer. Had he done it once or twice, he would have gotten away with it, in my opinion. He's so prolific now that eBay had him arrested. eBay pressed charges, and I support eBay for doing that. I'm glad. This actually started in the fall of 2016 and continued to the month of January 2017. $320,000 worth of goods this particular person scammed from eBay. Then he would sell the items for cash. All right? He was convicted of wire fraud and could actually receive 40 years in jail for that. However, the prosecutor is going to go with anywhere from 27 to 33 months, plus a $3,000 fine, plus he has to pay back the $320,000 in restitution he stole from eBay, which means, I guess, a garnishment on his check or whatever. This is serious. I really think eBay should prosecute these scammers. Okay? It's important. Anybody that interferes with eBay, whether they're interfering in particular transactions or with a seller, should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And this is actually, in a way, good news. It shines the spotlight on this kind of thing, and hopefully they'll get more aggressive. I'm going to continue to push eBay to prosecute these kinds of people. Because fair is fair and right is right, and we all want a safe trading place on eBay. That being said, I'm going to bring this video to a close now. We'll go over a few points, and then I will take your comments, questions, and concerns for next week. Number one, guys, what do you think about this prolific scammer? Have you heard about this before, or is this your first time hearing about it? Do you think eBay should get more aggressive in prosecuting these online scammers because they are guilty of wire fraud? Many of you guys know some of the issues that I've encountered over the years on eBay. 99.9% of eBay buyers are great people. But when you get somebody that's placing malicious bids on your items to hurt you, that, in my opinion, is wire fraud and should be prosecuted, and that's what I'm going to continue pushing for. Do you guys have any comments, any more comments on selling in the 4 parts or not working category? Have you had any returns or cases opened against you you guys want to talk about? You're free to put that in the description, in the comment section below, or talk about any single eBay issue you want. This is your floor to talk. Remember, guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thank you for watching. Each week I come out here and I make these videos to try and help you be successful on eBay. If you think I'm doing a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on the right track and appreciated. If you don't think I did a good job, leave a comment in the comment section below on what you want me to hit up next week, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. I am a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I'm still making money online. I've solved a lot of problems, and I have never worn a mask. Guys, like I say, go out there, make a lot of eBay sales, rock on, and peace! Should I do it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, no, yes, no, yes? Don't be fishy! Bonus drink, Fox News Cup of Life.